Good morning, class. My name is Adam.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Miss Ladawan.
You probably remember us from P5,
P5.
when we taught you social studies. This year, we are also going to teach you social studies, but in primary 6.
About geography. Last semester, we teach about center of region and economy. But this year, P6, we study about geography. Okay, let's start.
Now, before we start, please prepare a pen and a worksheet that you can print out. The worksheet will be provided with the video for this lesson.
Okay, when you back to school or school open, you can bring it to us, okay?
Don't forget, we will be checking that worksheet.
Your score.
Yes. So, today's topic is types of maps. What is a map? Map is a drawing of usually Earth's surface
What is surface?
or a part.
Surface แปลว่าพื้นผิวโลก Okay.
Yes, or a part of the surface. Now, do we need maps? Why do we need them? Are they important?
How important?
Yes, they are very important and very useful. For example, maps can help us to get from one point to another when we are traveling. If you are lost, map can help you find out where you are and how can you get to the place you want to go to.
For example, you are in Imperial Samrong, but you want to go Siam Paragon. You don't know the way to go there. You can use the map. Okay, map. There are many kind of map. Okay.
Yes. Maps can also help you organize your knowledge about your surroundings. Thanks to a map, you know what is around you and in your area. Maps can also help you locate countries. Where can you find Thailand?
Thailand.
It's there. They can also tell you about political boundaries or borders between countries.
Okay, border is mean พรมแดน
Yes. They can also show you physical features like rivers or mountains or many
or the highland.
yes or many other physical features. These are just few.
Feature is mean ลักษณะ Okay, man made.
Okay, let's do this again.
Natural
Again.
feature is mean ลักษณะทางธรรมชาติ For example, mountain ภูเขาแม่น้ำ
Maps can also show you the shape and position of man-made features like roads or buildings.
Man made feature สิ่งที่มนุษย์สร้างขึ้น
People who sorry again okay the science and practice of making maps is called cartography.
Cartography.
And the people who make maps, they are called cartographers.
Cartographer is the person who make map. Okay.
Or draws, yes. Now, there are many types of maps, but today we are going to talk about 8 of them. Topographic maps and physical maps, climate maps, political maps, economic maps, historical maps, transport maps, and specific maps.
Okay, specific map is mean แผนที่เฉพาะ If you want to know something, you focus on something. For example, population in สมุทรปราการ you can see specific map. And topographic map is mean แผนที่ลักษณะภูมิประเทศ Okay, next.
Now, let's start with topographic maps. As you can see, these topographic maps use special kinds of lines. What are these lines? We are going to learn in a minute.
Okay, you can see many lines in this map. We can call contour line. Okay.
Now, topographic maps show topography. So, what is topography? Topography is the study of physical features of land or making maps of them, or it can mean the shape of the land, including mountains, hills, valleys, yes, valleys, and so on.
Okay, topography is mean or level of the land. It creates the land in many landforms. For example, mountain is a high land or hill is smaller than mountain and valley.
What are physical features or landforms? These are features of the Earth's surface that were created by nature. For example, mountains, waterfalls, forests,
river,
or valleys.
Ocean.
Ocean, yes.
Okay.
Many landforms.
This is example. But in real, there are many landforms in the world.
Yes, many types. Now, why do we need topographic maps? So, topographic maps allow us to view three-dimensional features like mountains and hills on a two-dimensional surface.
Okay, dimension in Thai language is mean มิติอย่างเช่นในรูปภาพที่1นะคะถ้าเรามองในสายตาเนี่ยพื้นดินเราจะมองเห็นเป็นภูเขาสูงเป็นที่ราบที่ต่ำต่างๆแต่ถ้าเรามองจากรูปที่2นะคะอย่างเช่นเราอยู่บนหน้าต่างอยู่บนเครื่องบินเรามองจากหน้าต่างเราจะเห็นความสูงของพื้นที่เนี่ยในลักษณะนี้เราเรียกเส้นนี้ว่า contour line ค่ะ
Topographic maps, they usually show us, like we mentioned before, mountains or valleys or craters or lakes and many other physical features. They use contour lines to show us these features on a flat surface of a map. So, what are the contour lines? These are the imaginary lines. They do not exist in reality, they just exist on the map. And they show us the changes in elevation, or in other words, height of the physical features. So for example, the elevation here is 30 meters or 50 meters and so on. And here you can see them as well.
Contour line.
In a form of contour lines. Now, what is elevation? Elevation can mean the height of a place, like a mountain, and the place is usually above the sea level.
Okay, we can compare high or not high with sea level because sea level is the average height of the sea. It's used as standard for measuring. Okay.
Now, let's look at contour lines. What do they exactly mean? Not only elevation, but what about their distance between the two contour lines? If the contour lines are close to each other, that means the elevation is steep or high. So the land is steep, for example here. The contour lines,
okay.
Again, wait, stop. Okay, we are moving from this slide again. Tell us when you're ready. Now, let's look at contour lines. When contour lines are close to each other, that means
the slope is
stop.
1, 2, 3, stop.
Now let's talk about gentle and steep slopes.
Okay, gentle. Slope is gentle. It mean ลาดชันเล็กน้อยค่อยๆลาดชัน but steep is mean สูงชัน
Yes. So basically the land is steep if the slope is steep. So the contour lines, if they are close to each other, they will show us that that area is steep. So you might actually fall. As you can see there.
But if far is slope is gentle.
Yes, the slope is gentle. It's
ค่อยๆ slope แต่ถ้าเส้นคอนทัวร์ไลน์อยู่ใกล้ๆกันโคสมันจะทำให้เกิด steep สูงชันโอเค
So in this case the slope is gentle. The land is flat. Now, what do we use the topographic maps for? They can be used for many purposes, for example, hiking, camping, building roads, or planning cities. Also about resource management.
โอเค topographic map เราสามารถใช้สำหรับการเดินเขาแคมปิ้งการตั้งแคมป์ building road สร้างถนน urban planning การวางแผนเกี่ยวกับในเมือง resource management การบริหารทรัพยากรโอเค next
Next is a physical map. Physical maps, like topographic maps, also focus on physical features of the land. But as you can see, they look slightly different. They sometimes have extra names, additional names of places or geographical features, but they do not focus on them. These maps use colors, not contour lines like topographic maps. These use colors.
You can see different of color. For example, green, yellow, brown.
Yes. So for example, blue will be for water.
Water, oceans, sea,
Yes.
or lake.
Yes. Basically bodies of water. Green and all shades of green can indicate some kind of lower elevation, lowlands, for example. And orange.
Maybe lower elevation is mean plain.
Yes. Also plains, flatlands, basically.
And
And
brown,
the darker green,
brown, orange.
brown, orange, yellow, orange, brown, they can mean higher elevation.
Mountain, hill.
The darker the color, the higher the area.
Okay, next.
Now let's sum up. Let's talk about physical maps.
Physical map.
As you can see, they are somewhat different from topographic maps. They do not show you contour lines. Instead, they use colors.
But physical map will show about landform feature.
Yes, like topographic maps, but in a different way. So they also show plains, mountains, hills, rivers, oceans, but they use colors, as you can see. They sometimes will also have names of places like Bangkok there, or the places of areas like Andaman Sea.
Donglak Mountain, Kolat Plateau, Tanao Sea Range.
Yes, for better orientation. And instead of contour lines like topographic maps, physical maps we use colors to indicate the change in the shape or the elevation of the area.
We can use color to show about meaning of that landform or feature. Okay, for example, green it mean lower elevation of plain or flatland is a lowland.
Yes, green will be lower, all kinds of all shades of green.
And blue is oceans.
Blue
sea,
means any body of
or
water.
lake.
Orange, yellow, brown, they will mean higher elevation or higher areas like
Maybe
highlands.
a mountain or hill.
Yes. Now let's sum up the difference between topographic map and physical map. As you can see, the topographic maps, they use contour lines. They usually don't use color, although you might find topographic maps with color as well.
Focus at contour line will show you about level of the land.
Yes, they will show you the height of the land with different kind of contour maps. Whereas physical maps, they will primarily use colors like green,
Show about
blue, yes, to show you the shape and the height of these places.
And feature of landform.
Yes, and some physical features will be also shown or landforms. Now, let's talk about
Climate map.
maps. Now, let's talk about the difference between weather and climate. Weather refers to conditions of atmosphere like temperature, humidity, and precipitation.
Okay, weather. When we talk about weather is the same climate, but weather is the short term. For example, today is so hot. It's rainy today. It's weather can change every day.
Yes. Tomorrow it might be sunny, but today it's raining.
Maybe tomorrow sunshine is weather.
Yes, that's weather. It's short term, can last from seconds to minutes, maybe maximum few weeks.
yeah
Now, all of these pictures, they show you weather.
rainy and the sunshine
Sunny and stormy. Now, climate is the average weather of an area measured over a period of many years, usually 30. It can last for many hundreds or even thousands of years.
climate is a long term for example seasonal wind season in Thailand there are 3 seasons in Thailand is the climate because it's a long period.
Now, this map shows us the climate zones all around the world. You can see tropical, dry,
Temperate. Continent and polar.
and polar. For example, what climate is Thailand? What climate area can you?
Orange is mean tropical. Thailand is tropical zone.
Yes, so Thailand has a tropical climate. Now, let's sum up. What's the difference between
Weather and climate.
weather and climate? Weather shows us short, when we talk about weather, we mean short atmospheric conditions like sunny, rainy, snowy, something that will not last forever or for a long time, usually a day maybe, or an hour, 30 minutes. Whereas climate is something that lasts for a very long time. So we can be sure of it. Now, what are climate maps? Climate maps, they show us a climate of a specific area. So again, long-term atmospheric conditions in that area. For example, Thailand, 10 years of precipitation in Thailand, rainfall, yes? Or here, 6 years also. Now, from this map, we can see the lowest rainfall was in this area of the country. Now, again, we look at the climate map that shows us the types of climates all around the world. Information in these maps needs to be gathered for many years in order to be accurate. So, many of these, for example, this one, the annual rainfall, was gathered over the period of almost 50 years.
Okay, rainfall is mean ปริมาณน้ำฝน First and drought map แปลว่าความแห้งแล้ง Okay, next.
Yes. Now, they usually show us temperature or precipitation, rainfall, in a span of many years for that area.
Okay. Okay.
Climate maps can also have certain places like capital cities or smaller cities or names of rivers just to help us orient ourselves in the map, to understand the map better. Why do we use climate maps? For example, we can use them to observe the changes in the climate over many years. And thanks to that, we can make some kind of predictions and
Weather
forecasts
reports.
for the future.
And forecast for the future คือการพยากรณ์สภาพอากาศที่จะเกิดขึ้นในอนาคต
Yes. Now, let's talk about political maps. As you can see, political maps look different from other types of maps we've shown you so far. For example, they don't have many physical features, except maybe the bodies of water.
Just show about the name of the country, the city,
or a province.
But not show about physical feature.
So, for example, this map only shows you the shapes of the countries and the names, and of course the sea, but it even doesn't. Sorry, the oceans, but doesn't even name them. So, what does it mean political? Since it's a political map, political means something that relates to governments or agreements between governments or something related to governing the country.
Okay, relate แปลว่าความสัมพันธ์ political map แผนที่การเมืองการปกครองจะมีความสัมพันธ์เกี่ยวกับการปกครองรัฐบาลเขตการปกครอง public affair เกี่ยวกับ สาธารณะหรือเขตแดนชื่อของประเทศ
So political maps, they show us the borders or boundaries between countries.
เขตแดน
And maybe they give us some extra information about some capital cities, but not too much.
provinces city or village
So political boundaries, what are they? They are dividing lines that were basically designed by humans. Yes, they are man-made. They were established through all kinds of agreements between different groups. Like two countries, they agreed that the border between Thailand and Cambodia is in this place.
It's
So
a
when you
boundary.
cross it, you enter another country.
okay
They can be also called borders, and they can change over time due to, for example, wars, when one country takes some land away from another country.
okay next
Now, these maps, for example, they show you provinces of Thailand and districts
district
of,
in the Bangkok
of Bangkok area.
รัฐกระบังประเวศมีนบุรี something like that
Yes, unfortunately, Samut Pragan, which is here, is not represented because
and
it's
not the Bangkok it's
It's not
just a
Bangkok
province
area, not yet at least. Now, as we've mentioned before, political maps do not show many physical features. They mostly focus on showing you the borders and the names of places, important places like big cities or capital cities.
political map will show about political boundary city but not focus in physical feature
Political boundaries, you have to remember that political boundaries sometimes can follow like physical features like mountain ranges. They can be arranged along the mountain ranges or rivers that divide these two areas. Now let's talk about economic or resource maps. As you can see, this map also uses colors like a physical map or symbols. But the topic of this kind of map will be completely different from a physical or topographic map. First, let's discuss the word economic. Economic means something related to trade, industry, or basically
and
management of money. Yes?
okay trade it mean การค้า industry อุตสาหกรรม and the management of money การบริหารเงิน okay
Yes. And another name, resource, yes, for resource map, can mean things that are found naturally in a specific area. For example, land, trees, minerals, oil, coal, and many other resources.
yes economic will show about activity in economic
Yes,
Okay.
and resource will focus on the resources, but they can show both. Like here, they can show both resources and economic activities. Now, why do we need them? Because they show us very important information about economic activities in that area or natural resources that the country has and can use. So, for example, this map will show us the green areas will mean
you can see in the symbol for example ลพบุรี this picture this symbol is mean cement plant you can see ลพบุรี there are cement in ลพบุรี or other city other place you can see from symbol
Yes. Now, economic maps help us to understand and to know
location
the location of resources or economic activities
agriculture
like agriculture,
Industry.
mining, industry, and so on, factories. Now, let's look at historical maps. What are historical maps? So let's think about historical and history first. Historical is a word that means something related to history. So historical map will talk about history. And what is history?
It mean ancient place, ancient city in the past.
Yes.
But we can know from historical map.
Yes. So basically, history is about the past and what happened in the past, especially about countries, famous people, or very not well-known events. Now, why do we use historical maps? We can use historical maps to see how an area looked like in the past.
Landscape,
The landscape.
area
yes.
or country look like in the past, just in the past. But nowadays we have current map. But this is in the past. We can see Ayutthaya, Cambodia, Lan Chang, Lan Na, Dai Viet. It mean empire or city in the past.
Yes. So these maps will focus on specific historical periods. For example, here we can see the kingdom of Sukhothai, or in the
Angkor,
past, yes, Ayutthaya.
Champa, and Phayao, Lan Na, kingdom of Sukhothai, Lopburi, Angkor, Vietnam in the past.
Yes. Today these countries do not exist anymore. They were merged into different countries like Thailand, Vietnam, Cambodia, and Laos, for example.
For example, if you want to know where is Lan Na in the past, we know Lan Na in the past it means Chiang Mai is nowadays. Chiang Mai, Lampang, Chiang Rai is mean Lan Na.
Okay, now let's talk about transport maps. As you can see, transport maps look different from other maps in terms of colors and the information given on the map. You can see roads, for example, or flight routes, and so on. Now, why do we need these kinds of maps? They can show us the way to our destinations. For example, if we want to go somewhere in a different city, or even in Bangkok or Samut Prakan, we can find our way with a map. So we use them for travel and navigation. Now, the maps we've shown you here, they are mostly road maps for cars, bikes, buses, trucks,
Road
and
map.
so on. Whereas these maps, this one shows the flights, possible flight routes of planes. If you want, for example, to fly from Bangkok to Chiang Mai, you know there isn't a flight available. Now, the same goes for shipping routes for ships. How they move around, how they move
Shipping.
around
By
the
boat.
shipping lanes, yes, in the sea.